Only a select few players in League of Legends history has ever had the opportunity to lift the game's ultimate prize, the Summoner's Cup. And even fewer have brought that prestige back with them to the North American scene. So today, we're ranking every Worlds winning import from worst to best who took their talents down to South Beach, the NA LCS, and breaking down just how successful they really were and their overall impact that they had in the NA LCS scene. Starting off at number 7, we have the best of the worst, Looper, who won his championship as the top laner on the 2014 Worlds winning Samsung White roster. After his Worlds victory, Looper spent time bouncing between teams like Royal Never Give Up and Masters 3 in China's LPL, before eventually answering a call from team owner Rick Fox, who signed the world champion to Echo Fox as their starting top laner in the 2017 NA LCS split, alongside everyone's fan favorite Anivia main, Froggen. During his first split, Echo Fox finished the 2017 spring split in 8th place, failing to make the playoffs and looking like a complete shell of a team. Unfortunately, like many other Asian imports in the past, Looper struggled with communication issues due to his limited English at the time, making coordinated plays very difficult. He still looked very strong on tanks like Maokai and Nautilus, but very often found himself on the weak side of the map, rarely getting any jungle attention from teammate Acadian. Heading into the 2017 summer split, hopes were high for improvement, but Echo Fox once again finished 8th place, missing the playoffs once more. Many critics argued that Looper was on autopilot this split, lacking the proactive tendencies that made him a world champion, especially compared to other top laners in the league, such as Impact and Haunser. After just 1 year playing in the NA LCS, Looper not only ended his run in North America, but also his professional career, as he retired from competitive League of Legends at the conclusion of this season, making him one of the biggest Worlds-winning NA import flops. At number 6 on my list, I now have the Malzahar enthusiast himself, Crown, the 2017 Worlds-winning and Samsung Galaxy mid laner. After lifting the Summoner's Cup in 2017, Crown stayed on the Samsung Galaxy roster, which was later rebranded first to KSV Esports, and then later Gen G, before he eventually parted ways after Worlds 2018. He then joined the NA LCS for the 2019 spring split, signing with Optic Gaming as their starting mid laner and teaming up with former Cloud9 jungler Meteos. Unfortunately, Crown didn't find much success in his first NA season. He struggled to build synergy with his new teammates, and Optic finished tied for 7th place, missing out on playoffs entirely. Crown suited up once again for Optic Gaming in the 2019 summer split, but found only slightly more success, spending even a short stint playing for Optic's Academy team. While playing on the main roster, the team managed to secure the final playoff spot, but was quickly swept 3-0 by CLG, led by European mid laner import Power of Evil. After the very disappointing playoff exit, Optic was later rebranded to Immortals, and Crown stepped away from the roster. From here, Crown would go on to join rival CLG for the 2020 LCS Spring Split, replacing none other than Power of Evil, the very mid laner who has just eliminated him from the previous playoffs. Crown heavily underperformed during his stint with CLG. After just 4 weeks of play, the team has fallen to an abysmal 1-7 record, leaving the organization with no choice but to make a change. Starting in Week 5, the former world champion was benched, in favor of North America's own hometown hero, Poe Belter. And from that point on, the team never looked back. After the split, Crown departed North America, ending his LCS journey with only one playoff appearance and a lingering sense of disappointment at what could have been for a former world champion. Up next at number 5, we have a player that won not only 2 world championships in 2015 and 16, but also 2 MSI trophies in 2016 and 2017 with SK Telecom T1, the ADC, Bang. After finishing his contract with SKT in the fall of 2018, Bang accepted an offer to join the still new 100 Thieves lineup, alongside NA great Aframu and fellow Korean top laner Someday, for the 2019 LCS Spring Split, under the ownership of former Call of Duty professional Nadeshot. However, Bang's first LCS split was a rough introduction to North America. The team struggled to find synergy, there was communication issues between the mix of Korean and English-speaking players, and Bang held his own and showcased flashes of his world-class skill, but constant rotations in the jungle and mid lane positions made it impossible for the roster to gel. In the end, 100 Thieves finished dead last in the split with a 4-14 record. Bang achieved a similar result in the 2019 summer split, even playing a single game for the 100 Thieves Academy as the organization experimented with their roster. On the main roster, 100 Thieves finished with an 8-10 record, once again missing the LCS playoffs. Bang's redemption arc began in the 2020 spring split when he joined the newly reformed Evil Geniuses roster alongside European mid laner Zazuke and jungler Svenskeren. On this roster, Bang seemed a lot more comfortable and finally began to show why he has been a two-time world champion. EG finished the regular season in second place with a 10-8 record. While Bang no longer looked like the unstoppable superstar that he was on SKT, he proved to be one of the best AD carries in North America. EG's spring split ended with a third-place playoff finish after being first eliminated by Cloud9 and then eventually falling to FlyQuest in the lower bracket. Unfortunately, Bang's play regressed slightly during the 2020 summer split on EG. The team experienced a lot of ups and downs, finishing the regular season with an 8-10 record and finishing overall in 6th place. In the playoffs, EG was quickly eliminated by Cloud9 in the losers bracket, bringing Bang's time in North America to an end. While he did achieve slightly more success than some of the other world's winning imports, Bang was never able to return to the legendary level that he once had, playing alongside Faker on SKT. At number 4 following Bang, we have another former SKT ADC from the Season 3 World Championship winning roster, Piglet, who earns the title as being the very first world's winning import to ever play in the NA LCS after he joined Team Curse in the 2015 spring split, before they were officially rebranded as Team Liquid. Due to some visa issues, Piglet was unable to join his team for the first week of the split. As a result, Team Liquid had to field a substitute ADC named Keith, who surprisingly helped his team start the season with a 2-0 record, and I Will Dominate, their jungler, even earned Player of the Week honors. After finally joining the roster in week 2, Piglet had to check his ego at the door, as in his NA LCS debut, Cloud9's bot lane constantly put him under pressure and always had a massive CS lead throughout the game. According to I Will Dominate on his stream, Piglet completely forgot to set his runes and masteries before the game, forcing him to play at a major disadvantage.
Then we found out Piglet had no runes, no masteries, nothing. Just nothing. He had no runes or masteries. You realize, like, at that point, he's, like, laning down 15 AD.
With Piglet's large ego and ongoing communication issues, the roster never really hit the ground running. Piglet finished his first split with a 9-9 record, barely scraping into the playoffs, but still managing to secure a third-place finish overall. In the 2015 summer split, however, things finally started to click. Piglet began to showcase his true skill, and Team Liquid finished first overall in the regular season with a 13-5 record, looking like a genuine contender for the title and a ticket to Worlds. Although unfortunately, the wheels fell off in the playoffs. Team Liquid dropped both of their series and ended up with a third-place finish. This placed them as the final boss in the 2015 Regional Gauntlet, where they would ultimately fall 3-1 to Cloud9, led by their returning shot caller legend, High. After this loss, Piglet's career started to circle the NA LCS drain. Throughout 2016, Team Liquid seemed unsure how to move forward with their former world champion. He constantly found himself bouncing between the main roster and Team Liquid Academy. Things finally hit a boiling point during the 2016 Challenger Series Summer Finals against Cloud9 Challengers, where Piglet accidentally locked in Rammus support in Game 5, the blunder that left his team at a major disadvantage, and no doubt played a key role in their loss in the finals.
And Rammus.
What?
That
Yeah,
Rammus
bro.
is not
Piglet locks to the Rammus,
That's-
not even the one playing it. And it looked kind of okay. I remember, like, the lane phase, it looked kind of okay.
After Team Liquid Academy disbanded, Piglet returned to the main roster for the 2017 spring split, but this time with a role swap. When Team Liquid's mid laner Golden Glue took a leave of absence, Piglet was moved from his world's winning ADC role to fill the vacant mid slot. Although unfortunately, this change had very little to help. Team Liquid finished 9th in the standings with a 5-13 record, forcing them into the promotion tournament. They required assistance from another familiar NA veteran ADC to help them secure their LCS spot. The struggles continued in the 2017 summer split, where Team Liquid finished 4-14 and again faced the promotion tournament. At this point, the organization had enough of Piglet's antics and cut ties with the ADC. Piglet soon found himself on Clutch Gaming Academy roster for much of 2018, although he did see very little success. He played a handful of games on the main roster during the 2018 summer split, but the team finished 9th place with a 6-12 record, missing the playoffs. For the 2019 spring split, Piglet was promoted to the starting lineup of Clutch Gaming, but he just couldn't find proper synergy with his NA goated support Vulcan, and the roster once again floundered, finishing 9th place with a 5-13 record, once again missing the playoffs. This marks the end of Piglet's time in the NA LCS, serving as a reminder that signing a former world champion doesn't always guarantee results. And number 3 on my list, someone who, based on the comments of some of my previous videos, isn't exactly a crowd favorite, the dancing kindred main himself, Pyosik. Fresh off a roller coaster performance at the 2022 World Championship with DRX, Pyosik lifted his first and only Summoners Cup. But shortly after that historic run, he packed his bags and headed to North America, joining Team Liquid for the 2023 spring split as their new starting jungler, teaming up with another world champion who we'll talk about shortly. In Pyosik's first ever NA LCS game, it really set the tone for what would be a challenging season for him. In a matchup against FlyQuest, he overextended, giving up first blood and immediately putting egg on his face in front of the LCS stage. The rest of his split was very mediocre. There was flashes of brilliance of his world-winning ways, but nothing was consistent. Team Liquid ultimately finished the season with an 8-10 record, missing the playoffs entirely and leaving the fan base with a massive sense of disappointment after so much hype for the new roster. The 2023 summer split was a slight improvement, but overall, it was the same story once again. Team Liquid reversed their spring record, finishing 10-8, earning themselves a 4th place finish and a spot in the playoffs. In the first round, they fell to NRG, but TL ran the losers bracket, taking down 100 Thieves, Evil Geniuses, and Golden Guardians, before eventually meeting NRG once again and losing a second time. They finished 3rd in the playoffs, securing North America's final spot at the 2023 World Championship. Their Worlds run was short and painful. TL went 0-3 in the Swiss stage, including a surprising loss to underdog GAM Esports, which immediately eliminated them from the tournament and gave them a 15/16th place finish. After the 2023 Worlds, Pyosik packed his bags and returned to Korea. While he never won an NA LCS title and his stay in North America was brief, I personally value qualifying for the World Championship and competing versus the best players in the world a little bit higher than winning an LCS trophy, which is why he ranks as number 3 on my list. And at number 2 on my list, I have none other than former Samsung Galaxy 2017 World Championship support player, CoreJJ. Oddly enough, North America got to see a glimpse of his talent before he even earned his Worlds title. CoreJJ was signed to Team Dignitas for the 2015 spring split as their starting ADC. However, after several 5th and 6th place finishes, CoreJJ left NA to return to Korea, joining Samsung Galaxy for the 2016 spring split. During his time on Samsung Galaxy, he did play the ADC role, but eventually stepped aside for young up-and-coming rookie Ruler, moving himself into the support position. This turned out to be a brilliant decision, as Samsung Galaxy placed 2nd at Worlds 2016 and won the championship the following year in 2017. After a bit more time in Korea, North America got to witness the return of CoreJJ when he signed with Team Liquid for the 2019 spring split. Under the guidance of another former world champion and alongside 3 NA legends, Team Liquid finished the regular season with a dominant 14-4 record and went on to cruise through the playoffs, securing his first LCS title and MVP honors for the split. This victory earned Team Liquid a spot at MSI, where they ended up finishing 2nd after falling to G2 Esports in the finals after a shocking run that included a victory over tournament frontrunner Invictus Gaming. The hot streak continued in the 2019 summer split when Team Liquid once again finished 14-4 in the regular season and captured another LCS title in the playoffs. This earned them a spot at the 2019 World Championship, where the roster posted a 3-3 record in the group stage, ultimately failing to advance past Invictus Gaming and Damwon. However, the 2020 spring split was a bit of a hiccup. The roster underwent constant changes and finished 9th place overall with a 7-11 record and missing the playoffs entirely. During the 2020 summer split, Team Liquid returned to their winning ways, finishing first in the regular season with a 15-3 record and earned CoreJJ his second MVP trophy. However, their momentum faltered in the playoffs, and they ultimately finished third after a loss to TSM. This performance earned them a spot at the 2020 World Championship, where they were once again posting a 3-3 record in the group stage, falling short of advancing to the knockout round for a second time in a row. For the next several years, CoreJJ remained at the top of the NA LCS standings, winning 2 more LCS titles in 2024 spring and in the LTA 2025 Split 1, along with several lock-in tournament victories and qualifying for Worlds in 2021, 2023, and 2024, as well as an MSI 2024 appearance. While he was never able to replicate the same level of international success that he achieved in Korea, CoreJJ dominated the North American scene, constantly hovering near the top of the standings and earning a reputation as one of the best supports of all time in North America. Since he continues to play for Team Liquid, who knows how many more titles he has left to lift into the air before he finally hangs up his mouse and keyboard for good. At number 1 on my list, no one deserves it more than Impact, the former SKT top laner on the 2013 World Championship roster, making this the 3rd ever former Worlds winning SKT player who has found their way into the North American scene. Impact joined North America in the 2015 spring split as part of Team Impulse. He had a strong showing in his first split, finishing 4th in both the regular season and playoffs. During the 2015 summer split, TIP finished with a 13-6 record and once again placed 4th in the playoffs. After the 2015 season, Impact left TIP and joined NRG Esports for the 2016 spring split. NRG finished middle of the table in the regular season with a 9-9 record and were very quickly eliminated from the playoffs. Things really picked up for Impact in the summer of 2016 when he joined the Cloud9 roster with fellow NA GOATs such as Meteos and Sneaky and created his top die persona. Cloud9 finished the split in 3rd place with a 12-6 record and finished 2nd in the playoffs, only losing to TSM in the finals. This qualified them for the 2016 World Championship, where they finished between 5th and 8th place, losing to CoreJJ and his Samsung Galaxy team in the quarterfinals. Impact and the C9 brethren would go on to lose once again to TSM in the 2017 spring split playoffs. Cloud9 struggled a bit in the 2017 summer playoffs, but somehow still secured a spot at the 2017 World Championship, where they once again made it out of the group stage and fell in quarterfinals to China's Team WE in a very close series. After this, Impact joined the Team Liquid roster for the 2018 spring split and went on a tear, lifting his first of 4 consecutive LCS trophies in the 2018 and 2019 spring and summer playoffs. Throughout this time, Impact qualified for the 2018 MSI tournament, placing 5th, and was part of the 2nd place finishing roster alongside CoreJJ at the 2019 MSI tournament, as well as qualifying for Worlds each year. After finishing 1st in the regular season, during the 2020 spring split, Team Liquid ran into troubles in the playoffs and eventually fell to TSM, securing a 3rd place finish. Both the 2020 spring and summer splits were very difficult for Team Liquid, and they had to do something to shake up their roster, allowing Impact to sign with Evil Geniuses for the 2021 spring split. The team experienced several roller coaster seasons, generally finishing around the middle of the table, but things changed dramatically in 2022. Impact and EG won the 2022 spring playoffs, defeating 100 Thieves 3-0 and giving Impact his 5th LCS title and qualifying for the MSI 2022 tournament, where they would finish 3rd or 4th place after losing to the eventual champions RNG. Impact also secured another World Championship appearance after finishing 3rd in the 2022 summer split playoffs. EG, however, was unable to advance past the group stage, allowing Impact to take a new risk and sign with FlyQuest for the 2023 spring split. With FlyQuest, Impact helped the team finish 2nd in the regular season during the 2023 spring split, and then they ended up in 3rd place after the playoffs was over. However, the summer split was a complete disaster, as FlyQuest finished the regular season with a 6-12 record, placing 9th and forcing the organization to completely rebuild. As part of this rebuild, Impact returned to Team Liquid, continuing his success with the organization. He helped Team Liquid win the 2024 Spring Playoffs, lifting his 6th NA LCS trophy and securing another MSI appearance. Impact continued to dominate the top lane, guiding his team to a second-place finish in the 2024 Summer Playoffs and took home his first MVP trophy. Under his leadership, Team Liquid also captured the first ever LTA trophy after the LCS rebranded. Recently, Team Liquid announced that Impact is now a free agent, leaving his next destination unknown, but hopefully he'll continue to compete for North America. Since joining the NA LCS, Impact has played for 6 different teams, attended 7 World Championships and 4 MSI tournaments, and lifted 7 total LCS trophies, proving that sometimes taking a chance on a player can really pay off. To date, there's only ever been 7 players who have won the World Championship who have played in North America's competitive scene, with each experiencing a roller coaster of success and failures. Who knows what's in store for the NA LCS this season, or if any players from this year's 2025 World Championship T1 roster will ever make their way to the North American scene. If they do you think they'll have as much success as Impact or CoreJJ, or do you think they'll end up more on the Piglet or Looper side of the spectrum?